Welcome to Training Camp Recap, brought to you by Ramos Law. You can find them at ramoslaw.com. Injured in an accident, they can help out. Just find them at ramoslaw.com. They are the official, Mike, I'm telling you, they are the official injury. I want to get it exactly right. Powered by, I'm reading now here a little bit. The official injury law firm partner of Broncos country.
Let's go, baby. That's Ramos Law.
Thank you, Ramos Law.
And if you ever have any issues, man, it's pretty simple where you need to go.
It's not complicated.
It's really easy.
Not easy. Not hard, rather. I've got Madden ratings.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that in a little bit.
What was your Madden rating?
0.
Okay.
We have a very sort of metaphysical coaching, sort of Sean in the weeds.
Okay.
We have some more. We have a reflection on like what was so great about yesterday. Yesterday's practice was like becoming a little bit legendary. We can hear and get the spirit of J.K. Dobbins. Plus, we have some newness from the game tonight. Not that I really value the game, but there are some new rules of the NFL and some new technology that are pretty interesting. But first, let's get a sense of what today was all about. Coach, you were there. Fill us in, and should we be worried about Trey Greenlaw or not?
No. I was concerned about Trey Greenlaw, but the fact that it does not appear, according to Sean Payton, we have to take the information that we get from Sean Payton in a post-practice press conference environment as the closest thing that we get to accurate information. So,
all right, well, let me play it then. Let me
go ahead.
In the one-on-one period, he felt it got tight, different area, and so we'll know more. We'll go ahead and have all the precautionary work done, but I think he'll be all right.
So I tweeted out almost identically that from the booth that I was watching practice at, because I saw the one-on-one rep. I saw J.K. Dobbins with a little stutter, kind of seam route right down the middle, and created a little bit of separation, got on top as it relates to getting behind, if you will, the defender and Trey Greenlaw. And as the ball's in the air, J.K. Dobbins tracking the football. You can see Trey Greenlaw appears to be chasing from behind, and in the process, it appears that it was more of a hamstring type of I would call it a tear or anything. I couldn't diagnose that, but like Coach Payton said there, he even kind of signaled to the back of his leg when you were there at the presser, which would not be the same spot as Trey Greenlaw in his April injury, where it was the quad and a bit of a concerning quad.
Yes.
So, man, I've gotten to the point now with Trey Greenlaw. Man, I think he has the defensive scheme already. He is such a presence on that defensive unit.
Yeah.
I honestly could care less if he gets another training camp rep or a preseason rep.
We've heard amazing things about him. You can hear him.
I like that part about him, man.
He's the Mike Tyson of the team. He was a foster child who feels welcomed by Sean Payton and the Broncos like no other. It's one of the big reasons he chose the Broncos. So, yeah, we don't want to see any issues with Trey Greenlaw. It's funny. Payton actually took some umbrage with the accusation. He really does follow little internet shows.
Gosh, your own little internet shows are driving me crazy. Listen.
If they do, he pays a lot of attention to them. So let me give you some proof here, because he did take a little, I got a little snippy today with the thought that the linebackers are going through some rapid injuries.
I read somewhere where, it was like injury plague. Alex is back here in 6 days. So I think obviously other guys step up and get those reps. But knock on wood, fortunately, we've been good here during this camp. And but it gives us a chance to evaluate other players. And so you're seeing Bailey, you're seeing the reps of, Sternad's obviously had a ton of work, but you do get a chance. And throughout these drills, we're trying to rotate it enough to where, getting the proper evaluation on these younger players is important. Our biggest fear would be someone leaves here and ends up excelling somewhere else. And so we want to make sure we don't let that happen.
Yeah, that's a nightmare sort of scenario. You never want that.
All right. So in addition to the dialogue about the linebacker group becoming a kind of an injury-plagued group, I guess it is injury-plagued in the short term. But none of these injuries, probably outside of Drew Sanders, I would consider to be concerning injuries for the season.
Okay. Because you've had
Sanders,
three. You've had Sanders, Greenlaw, and Singleton.
We talked about Singleton, man. We're talking about, it's just the tip.
Club.
It's just the tip. Just right there.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be fine. Billy Club, he'll be back and playing.
Okay.
He'll end up racking up a ton of tackles.
All right.
Trey Greenlaw, I hope it will be a massive success for the Denver Broncos in the acquiring of Trey Greenlaw if you get 14 or more regular season games out of him.
Non-contact injury today, though, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It happened in the Super Bowl, too. Non-contact Achilles.
Running onto the field.
Yeah.
It's about as that's about as non-contact as you possibly can get.
He's like, that Mike Tyson reference. It's almost like he's almost so slapped together and kind of muscled up and he's not a very tall player.
Yeah.
He just is like this like muscle hamster.
Okay.
Of a human being. And you wonder if he's a little wired tightly as a result of that. And so, a little bit of some of those non-contact and soft tissue injuries do concern you.
You know what I loved about the nickname Muscle Hamster I'm forgetting the running back's name right off the top of my head.
Doug Martin.
He hated being called the Muscle Hamster.
He didn't like it.
We were a big Doug Martin, like, hey, come to the Broncos thing. I believe it was like Garrett Bowles' year. Oh, was it Garrett Bowles' year or it was before that? I don't know.
We were getting good for a while at Tampa, but didn't have a long shelf life.
We were Muscle Hamster. Meanwhile, we got some information that's kind of cool about what everything is amping up. They were in shells today, and we'll get to the referees being there in a second, as well as the new technological innovation tonight, which is kind of cool. But I guess Saturday, Coach, is going to be the day.
We're ones, twos, threes right now. Saturday, if you recall, a year ago on this Saturday, we set up a much different type practice, and it's kind of a scrimmage format, and yet we'll mix who's going against who. And even within the rotations, if you're really watching, these receivers might be taking reps with the second wave, and they may be taking reps with the first wave just based on the routes that were just run and getting. So it's a little bit easier to keep track of if you're looking at the offensive line or if you're looking at the defensive front. But we'll try to mix that up, and Saturday will be a day where you'll see that change a little.
That's the nature of the NFL. You use acclimation in the first week. You practice against yourself pretty heavy, culminating in some sort of competition period before a day off. Mm-hmm. And then you get into preseason, basically, with joint practices. Yeah, this is just kind of that's the 5-week period, right?
DMac, I remember very, very, as vividly as possible. Today was a bit of a Groundhog's Day for me because I remember this exact practice format last year where you went padded, and you're like, man, are they going to get to their kind of the point of diminishing returns of physicality? And then all of a sudden it was a helmets only practice. This is a year ago. Mm-hmm. Same thing again today. And it was a helmets only practice that you think is going to be really short. And they're on the field for 2 hours and 20 minutes today.
Long practice, right?
And last year was the same thing. And I'm starting to I'm drawing a blank about what Friday is, sandwiched between this practice a year ago.
Well, he said it was another.
Well.
He said it was another install. So
Okay,
it would not surprise.
He's repeating the install from today. That's what I thought I heard.
Something like that.
I could see tomorrow being in actual shells, which is helmets, shoulder pads, shorts. That's what shells is. Today's was purely helmets. And frankly, like the receivers and quarterbacks didn't have anything on other than a jersey. O-line had those they're like egg crates. People call them spiders.
Yeah.
But they're basically little mini egg crates for protection for your clavicle. So when you're coming off the ball and double teaming defensive linemen, you're not snapping your clavicles. But I think tomorrow is probably going to be a shorter practice and a ramp up. And then vividly remember a year ago, that Saturday move the ball period is where I saw for the first time in my journey of evaluating Bo Nix at the Senior Bowl. Frankly, in my coaching against Bo Nix, who shredded us. I want to make that clear. He shredded CU in 2022, but not like Michael Penix Jr. shredded us. Not like Cam Rising when he was healthy at Utah shredded us.
That was something.
And even not like Caleb Williams shredded us, even though I was not. Caleb Williams played with his food, and we stayed in the game till halftime. It was that Saturday scrimmage, move the ball. I attended as a fan. I brought my kids, and I'm sitting up there with just some. I remember the conversations with a couple members of Broncos country, and it was a really fun day. Bo Nix, you started to see it. You're like, okay, yeah, he's starting to separate himself as the guy that's going to be the starting quarterback. And while all along I had seen that Sean Payton was almost stacking the competition in the favor of Bo, that Saturday is when Bo himself went out and played really clean football. And I was like, he did some really good things in the red zone. I think he ended up throwing 3 or 4 touchdown passes in that day of actual open field, move the ball, had a really good 2-minute drill. And I'm like, yeah, this guy's a lot better than I probably gave him credit for in this whole process.
Yeah, and Sean Payton is now, listen, you don't want to get over your skis a little bit, but the significance of yesterday's practice should not be lost on anybody. We really should bookmark July 30th, 2025 as maybe a turning point. You got to hear this comment from Adam Troutman, who has been with Payton. With New Orleans and in here with the Broncos, and hear what he had to say.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was yesterday's practice. That was like, I felt it before here, but that was like, oh yeah, like we're ready for this. All the expectations and everything. Yesterday's practice was the best practice I've been a part of in my 3 years here, and that's ever since Sean got here. So I think we are trending in the absolute right direction. And guys are completely bought in. And obviously right now we're going through the grind of it, especially with 6 in a row here. And, guys are bought in and we're ready to go.
What made it?
And then he was asked specifically what was special about
physicality,
it.
Guys talking crap. Just guys just being vocal, and it was physical. You could feel it. You could hear it when you're not in there for a rep and you're listening to the hits. I mean, it was violent. There was some tackling going on too a little bit, and we usually don't, and it was just happening, and it was natural. So, but yeah, it was the physicality for sure.
You can talk to him.
I'll never forget the very first time I was a part of really watching NFL training camp over the course of the long haul of a training camp was when my dad was the wide receiver coach for the San Diego Chargers. And I believe it was like 1999. And the team was, I think, just a short 3 years removed from being the San Diego Superchargers.
Okay.
Maybe it was a little bit more than that. Maybe it was 4 or 5. But you still had veterans on that defense. Junior Seau still in his prime. Rodney Harrison very much in his prime. And I'll never forget the sound of how they practiced on that side of the ball. Now the offense was dealing with the Ryan Leaf debacle and a lot of different shenanigans, but intensity wise, because there were remnants of a Super Bowl defense led by Junior Seau and Rodney Harrison, I saw the speed, the actual sound of the pads popping. And there was a joint practice back in either 99 or 2000. I was just blown away. The Miami Dolphins came out to San Diego, and two really cool coastal, type vibes of teams. Dan Marino's the quarterback.
There you go.
Versus Junior Seau and Rodney Harrison. And I was, as a youngster, I think it was a senior in high school going in, and I was a ball boy for the Chargers.
Oh, man.
And I'll never forget how fast it looked and felt and how much talking there was. Yesterday felt that way. And what I would tell you is that Junior Seau, Rodney Harrison tandem, it reminds me of what the tandem feels like of what you added in Talanoa Hufanga at safety position, like you did with Rodney Harrison and Junior Seau, even though Junior Seau is a 6'4" creature and Trey Greenlaw is compact, bite-sized, 5'11" type guy. But it's the presence, the thump, the talking, and it just elevates everybody.
Yeah, DJ Jones on that.
Worried about being with the fat guys.
I mean, he can keep talking as long as he's backing it up. He's good at backing it up, so yeah.
I just asked Coach about the fact that, all the chirpiness isn't really rolling over into, scuffles or fights or anything like that. Is that a testament on the player side to, look, we're going to chirp, we're going to do all that, but we're not going to let it roll over because we mean business. We want to take advantage of these reps because you guys want to contend this year.
Yeah, of course. We're a brotherhood. We gonna chirp. I mean, if we weren't chirping, then it should raise some eyebrows. But we're competing. That's all it is. Bunch of alpha males competing.
Bunch of alpha males competing.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man.
Who is the alpha?
Come on. Let me play you a little bit of this. Listen, I had no idea about J.K. Dobbins' personality. I didn't really know much about him. I don't know if you knew much about him. You might have recruited him. Who knows?
I knew he had more personality than I thought he would have.
Okay.
I saw some of his interviews as a Charger.
All right. Well, here he was with our pal Scotty Gange from 9 News, who we love. And hey, J.K. Dobbins isn't fooling around here.
Title, I guess, for the year. I saw it all over your Instagram. Was La Vuelta, the return?
Yes.
Is this the new return, the comeback? What are we feeling this year?
Nah, this ain't no comeback. I came back last year.
Yeah.
This is gonna be kind of personal for me this year because I firmly believe I'm one of the best running backs in the NFL. I think the numbers show it whenever I am healthy. This year I'm coming, and I don't think, God willing, I think I'm going to be there every single game, and I'm going to show everyone that I am one of the best.
I'm fired up right now. I want to run through a brick wall.
That dude's got a chip on his shoulder, my friend.
Well,
and
he does.
The chip is in the division against the Chargers.
I had a conversation earlier today, or actually it was yesterday, with Ryan Saunders. Is that right? Ryan? Is there a Ryan Saunders in our media?
You're combining a couple.
Ryan Edwards, excuse me.
Ryan Edwards.
Yeah, Ryan Edwards of KOA. Sorry.
Okay.
And he was talking about, I think J.K. Dobbins had been on the flagship for the Broncos on KOA on some type of some type of interview, very similar setting there to 9 News with Scotty Gange. And the conversation came up about, running back by committee. I don't know if you saw this clip or heard this clip. But J.K. Dobbins responded by saying, committee. Who told you that? Yeah, I think guys are gonna have roles, but I'm planning on being the guy that's gonna carry it 25 times a game.
Well, we're seeing some confidence. Hey, if it's working, he'll get it 25 times a game. He will. I mean, they're going to want to get RJ Harvey in the mix, obviously. But this whole talk about like keeping 4 running backs on the team, I'm like,
well, I think 4 is going to include the fullback.
Okay, I'm not including that in the 4 running backs. Okay?
I think that's what's going to end up happening.
Well, let me be 5 running backs then, if we just want to go there. Like, I think you're going to have to make a choice between McLaughlin and Audric Estime. Tough choice. And,
it is.
But that's what life's all about. But I have no idea why they would keep 4 on the 53. Now listen, and I know that Bidet's doing well, and Sean Payton even pointed out Blake Watson today. Yeah. So, okay, cool. You don't want to be, because you don't know. You have no idea. Anybody could get injured at any second.
Right.
And then, hey, all right. But you can also keep, because you can keep 1 million guys on the practice squad there, Coach. So
yeah,
I'm not really worried about
what I see right now is I think there are 3 running backs that have the ability to be an above the line, surefire NFL tailback, starter tailback, when given their opportunities and when we've seen them at their best. The one guy that I think is without question above that line is exactly who we just heard from. And I think that's J.K. Dobbins. He is, when he is healthy, which he is healthy right now. He looks healthy. He looks explosive. He doesn't look like he's hampered by any past injury history as of today. R.J. Harvey has flashed, man. His ability to get to the edge with urgency, with an explosiveness. And we haven't even really had a chance to watch what I think is going to be part of his game is breaking tackles. And then the third running back, when you think about the first half against the Chargers, and as you watch the Chargers tonight, and I know it's their shell roster, there's a mentality and identity in that Chargers team that the Broncos yet have really cracked the Jim Harbaugh code. They're 0-2 right now. Sean Payton is 0-2 against the Chargers led by Jim Harbaugh.
Are you saying that's his hump?
I think it is a significant hump. And I think that the most important hump this season might be establishing supremacy as one of the top 2 teams in the AFC West. And I'm not going to limit it at number 2. I don't think you should limit it at number 2. I think the Broncos, if all things come together, should be able to not only contend with, but potentially sweep the Kansas City Chiefs, because I think they match up well with the Kansas City Chiefs. I worry more about the Chargers. I'm a little bit worried about the Raiders. Because those are 2 head coaches and identities that are wrapped up in running the football and playing really good defense between Pete Carroll and Jim Harbaugh.
Got a couple of other things for you. First of all, the shit talk that goes on is, as long as it doesn't slow practice down and results in stupid fights, like the Cowboys are just having stupid fights.
Yeah.
A fight, something like that. It's not the worst thing in the world, but what you really want is what's going on right now. You want that competitiveness. You want that back and forth. You really don't. You want that more than you want fights. And Sean Payton was laughing about the whole Malcolm Roach is a fat guy thing
on the podium.
Yeah, I don't think of Roach as fat, but Malcolm, you hear him before you see him, and I like that energy about him. I thought the thing I liked about yesterday, it was a physical practice, and yet there was no one really crossing the line, and it's hard to do when it gets warm. But I thought both sides of the ball, handled the pads well. We got better yesterday, and so today was going to be, a day where they were a little bit tired, and you just got to be smart with the approach during practice, but. I wouldn't have picked Mims and Roach. I would have picked so many other combos, but when I read that one, that was surprising.
That's pretty funny, right, man? That's pretty funny.
Sean loves Malcolm Roach. That's one of his guys, man. Another Saint, another member of Saints Mafia.
Yep.
Malcolm Roach, man, that guy. Both he and DJ Jones are I think fairly underrated aspects of this Broncos defense, because. Man, it's hard to find quality interior defensive linemen that just do their job and do it with passion and energy. And both those guys do it, man. Those guys are they're unheralded superstars in this defense, in my opinion.
We'll get to the Madden ratings that came out today for a couple of Broncos players in a second. But at the end of it, Sean, here's what's going on. The expectation level for this team, Mike, every day that goes by is just growing. It's growing on a local scale. Yeah. It's growing on a national scale. And it's making Sean Payton a little philosophical.
All 32 teams start the season with the same aspirations and goals. And so what separates yourself from those other teams? And I think, it's those ingredients. And it gets back to who we're bringing in, who we've drafted. And you're finding guys that want to, play at a high level, and they understand that it's not easy to do. We can write down our goals and dreams, and we can recite them, and then, you have to live them. And I think I've been encouraged relative to the leadership and the direction following last season. A lot of young guys played, and I've said this before, I like this team.
How is the
You can write down your goals and dreams, but then you have to live them. You can
good.
talk the talk, but you got to walk the walk.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bar right there. That's kind of maybe a Drake or a Future bar that he just grabbed. Pretty good. It's pretty good.
You could write down your goals and dreams, but then you got to live them. And then I like this team.
I've said this before, I like this team.
Reminds me of having diamond hands.
As for me, I like the stock.
I'm just saying.
Oh my gosh.
I've said this before, I like this team.
One more time.
As for me, I like the stock.
Are the Broncos the GameStop?
They might be Roaring Kitty right there. Hey, Sean Payton, let me ask you this. I brought this up 2 days ago. I ended up putting a poll out there. We had about a little shy of 500 respondents.
Very nice.
If Sean Payton's head coaching career in the National Football League were to end today, is Sean Payton a Hall of Fame head coach today?
He is not.
I agree.
Because the suspension and bounty gate will hang over his legacy until he wins another championship. Because I don't know if a head coach has won 2 championships on 2 different teams. I don't think they have. So he needs a legacy defining moment, which would be especially bringing the Broncos back from just an abysmal situation, So
do you think Sean Payton is somebody who would be considered, concerned with his reputation and the optics of who he is and how he's perceived?
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Yes.
Do you think that Sean Payton is actively, and we're watching it, coaching to be in the Hall of Fame?
That's a great question. I think Sean Payton was born to be an NFL head coach, not a college coach, an NFL head coach.
Okay.
So I think he's just doing what comes naturally to him. Now, it was difficult, cost him, his first wife, and he seems to be fine with his kids, which is cool, but it wasn't easy. I mean, he made a whole movie about it. I mean, just watch the movie that his son-in-law helped produce with Adam Sandler's production company.
Right.
And that's why in that movie, Adam Sandler's wife plays his ex-wife, if you didn't know that.
Who also, Adam Sandler's wife is in Happy Gilmore too.
She is, and I'm pretty sure the storyline for Happy Gilmore 2 was created because his daughter is a ballet dancer.
100%.
Because I'm not sure exactly how you would come up with ballet school unless your daughter takes ballet.
And she actually plays the part in Happy Gilmore too.
Yeah.
As it relates to the conversation of watching a potential fringe NFL head coach coaching for the opportunity to enter Canton.
He's close though. He's close.
On Hall of Fame preseason night tonight.
Yeah.
Are we watching every day that we're out at practice? Are we watching hometown team or home team or whatever the hell it's called?
Yeah.
Are we watching the sequel?
I no doubt about it. And it's hopefully going to be a lot better in total than Happy Gilmore 2.
Do you think that Kevin James will play Sean Payton in the sequel?
What's the story? What's the storyline? Let's say he does. I'm rolling with
more importantly, will Sean make Kevin James take the jab and get the Zempic because of a lot of the fat shaming that's happened in this particular year of camp?
And Sean Payton is looking pretty good. I mean, he's definitely slimmed down. He looks healthier.
Slim Shani.
He is Slim Shotty. He'll always be Slim Shotty. Okay, ain't no doubt he's Slim Shotty. He'll do what it takes to win.
So this Sean Nelson brings up a good question, and I heard I don't know if you have the soundbite from that you played earlier that the biggest fear that you have is an undrafted free agent that you cut ends up getting discovered by another team as a very, very good player.
Yeah.
Sean Payton mentioned that. I believe it was one of the first cuts that you played.
Okay, I played. Go ahead. Yeah, what about it?
There's a player that I think the Denver Broncos cannot, I repeat, cannot let get out there on the waivers.
Who's that?
Walken Davis.
Talk to me.
6'4" plus 200-pound wide receiver from North Carolina Central.
Well, we're in big trouble because he's going to have to be cut and open up to waivers.
He had a monster day in the red zone today.
Well, they ain't keeping him.
A monster day.
All right, hold on. Let me back up. 6 wide receivers. Maybe. It's not unheard of, but you just got to go short somewhere else, I guess.
He is my Devon Vele this year when Devon Vele has had an incredibly quiet training camp this year.
And was injured, although he was back today.
He was back, but he doesn't look to be the same. He doesn't have the same pop that he had a year ago.
Listen, vet cuts. There always tends to be one, maybe two, that catch you by surprise, Coach.
You want to talk about a guy
year.
that fits the prototype? He's listed. This is Walken Davis. He's listed as a 6'4", 199 receiver.
Okay.
He looks markedly bigger than Cortland Sutton.
Okay.
He looks markedly bigger than Pat Bryant.
All right.
Looks way bigger than Troy Franklin. And he played in red zone one-on-ones today being a heavy red zone day. 3 touchdown catches. 1 and 7 on 7, and 1 where he went and plucked the ball off the top of Riley Moss's helmet. And I said, Well,
I'll tell you this. Last year, we were talking about Vele every day. Now we're barely mentioning his name.
Yeah, he's been hurt. The greatest ability you can have in the National Football League is availability.
If this Walken Davis is just better, they'll just move on from Vele. Could they keep 6 wide receivers? I don't know. Because Sherfield's making an interesting case for himself to get more involved as a receiver. Not just
he is. He had a great Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday full pads. Actually kind of showed up as one of the more physical receivers, both, with the pads on and very amped up football. Today in the red zone, not a great day, but he's not a tall player. He's a 5'11" player. He's making the roster, and he's gonna be, I think, in a role where Sean Payton uses him as a dependable, I think, little Jordan Humphrey type player.
Well, listen, Walken Davis, I like you calling it out. Let's keep it, let's.
My two guys so far, my 2 guys in this training camp, and I'll give Raj credit because he just did the eyeball test on Walken Davis, and the guy was unbelievable vertical abilities, ball in the air, just even in routes on air, he just glides and so I was talking today with a couple of the Muggles, and he mentioned that his pro day numbers at North Carolina Central at basically 6'5", 205. He ran in the 4.3s and he jumps over 40 yards in the vert. I'm like, okay, you know what he looks like? He looks like a taller Evan Ingram.
Okay. What's wrong with that?
He's almost a guy that, like, if you were to take Evan Ingram and stretch him out 3 inches taller, that's what Walken Davis looks like.
Is he an undrafted free agent?
Undrafted free agent.
Okay, so he just came out. Okay.
Just came out. Undrafted rookie free agents.
Well, keep it in mind. I love the name mention. There's always some tough cuts. If you like this team, there's some tough things to do.
I've said this before. I like this team.
As for me, I like the stock.
Well, good. Madden. How into the Madden stuff are you?
Right now I'm not, because I get to play my own Madden with 15 to 18-year-old student athletes in the high school level.
For me, it's not really my jam. I'm not trying to diss the wonderful world of gaming. I got no problems with it. It's just not something I'm super into, but I got some numbers for you here there, Coacher. We got a 97 out of 99 for Pat Surtain.
Good. Still not high enough.
That was the highest rating for any corner.
Yep,
but it wasn't
99 is the defensive player of the year.
Well, what can I tell you? You got a 95 for Quinn Miners, which was a top 10, by the way. I think it was number 5, number 6, something like that. overall. Pretty good.
That's a really high number for an O lineman.
Is he the best offensive lineman on the Broncos?
Yes.
Okay. Why?
Athleticism. He's got the best combination of athleticism and just sheer brute strength.
We got a 87 for hold on, who I got?
Trey Greenlaw.
Trey Greenlaw. Sorry, my bad. My eyes are failing off.
93 pursuit, baby.
Okay.
Well, that man, 8th highest rated linebacker.
Good.
It's essentially a true traditional linebacker.
And the last highest rating is for Evan Engram, who looks weird wearing a number 1, man.
I don't know.
You know, that doesn't look right. It
Catch
doesn't
91
look right.
balls and get 10 touchdowns, and I'll forgive you for your jersey number 1. Nick Bonito.
Yeah, I don't have him. I'm sure he did all right. I don't have
Zack
his number
Allen?
on top of my head. What's that?
Zack Allen?
Yeah, I don't got him either. What can I tell you? I'm sure they did fine. In fact, there were just on the Zack Allen stuff, and we'll get to the refs and the rules here in a second. There was quite a vibe out there today. I don't know if people were yip-yapping about it behind the scenes there, Coach. Let me know.
That is today the day that Zack Allen's going to get his deal?
The same vibe we had heard about Cortland Sutton was like happening today.
It felt that way.
Well, to the degree where I'm almost a little surprised we're going to bed tonight and we haven't heard about it. So I think he's next.
I think it might be a Saturday surprise.
The big game day? The big Saturday scrimmage?
Big Saturday scrimmage.
Oh, but it does feel like it's close to Zack Allen, like it's about to happen. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. Is that the right order of things in your opinion?
It's 100% the right order of things.
Okay.
I have the belief in Nick Bonito that he has the ability to have a Trey Hendrickson statistical sack year. And if he does go 17.5, then I think you should want to pay upwards of whatever 30 plus average annual value.
Does that mean you'd wait a little bit on Bonito, make him prove it again?
I like that.
I wouldn't mind
wait. I like to wait and see because the Russell Wilson contract will be off the books. And then there's going to be players out there saying 32 million in cap space is going to become available. There's going to be some players who are going to be competing for that 32 mil.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Even if it costs you a little bit more in the end, I'm okay with it.
Because it probably means he had an unbelievable year this year, and you probably take the next step as a franchise towards where you want to ultimately go, and that's to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, man, if he's like on the same level with Hendrickson or Watt or I don't know, fine. I don't got a beef. We'll pay him.
He was a top 3 sacker this year in the National Football League.
Yeah, but there were some other kind of interesting numbers about him too that you know what? I just think you're okay to wait. I don't think there's any rush.
I'm great with it.
I think John Franklin Myers is going to be left out in the cold completely. I think you got to get Zack Allen done. So there you go. We're on the same page.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. One of my favorite days for years, and I'm sorry that I missed it today because I have traditionally loved this day. When the NFL refereeing crew, not the high school guys that they pick up.
Easy.
Well, the middle school guys. I don't want to be insulting, but there's refs on the field, but it's not always the NFL crew.
Correct.
But once a year, the NFL crew does come in and they go through a video with the team and the players.
Was that today?
That was today.
Okay.
So those refs that were out there today, that was an NFL crew.
Okay.
Now, what they used to do in the past, and maybe they didn't do it today, but I loved it. They would have the NFL crew present to the media the same video they would show to the team the night before. And you could ask questions.
Where would they present that?
In the media room, when the media room used to be part of the building. So
that's so funny. I have no understanding of the media room. I just go to practice and what do you do in the media room? Write articles and you just
no. It used to be they had a little coffee. You could have some pizza in there. They had a bathroom. You got
is it like Mad Men? Do you just rip butts in there?
I suppose there might have been a time. I mean, It was right there.
What would happen if I walk into the media room tomorrow after practice and just pull out a pack of Marlboros and start ripping cancer sticks?
I think the vast majority of the guys in there would join you. Look at them. What do they have to live for?
Me and Goody just ripping a dart.
Really?
Fun.
Do you really think there'd be a pushback amongst those people? No, you'd be in good company. What do you think? We got a bunch of health nuts that are, sort of conscious about how their bodies are?
Yeah,
take a peek around you, Coach.
Mark Mosier having 14 donuts in one commercial break. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you think he's concerned? I mean, it just goes on and on and on. But why I wanted to bring up the refs, there's a couple of things going on that I want your feedback on. First of all, this kickoff thing.
Yep. We're going to see some returns this year, DMac.
Well, you're going to see a bunch of flying saucer kicks that they're going to try to land at about the 10-yard line. And because if they skid into the end zone and you down the ball,
it's big time benefit.
Oh, it comes out to the 20.
It's a lot harder than you think.
Fine.
It is. A lot of people tried it.
Well, they did in the beginning, but then they just gave up on it.
Yeah.
And then the teams were like, fuck it. We'll just start at the 30-yard line, whatever. Well, the 35, why don't you, from a coaching perspective, from a play calling perspective, tell us the biggest difference, between the 30 and the 35, aside from 5 yards? What's the inherent advantage?
So Urban Meyer used to do, because he was a special teams coordinator by trade, and my dad coached with Urban at Utah, and he took statistics of all drives at all levels of football and talked about starting field position. He termed this the battle of field position. And what you essentially came with is that drives that begin inside of we'll call it between the 30 and the 20-yard line, only 13% of those drives yielded touchdowns.
Okay.
But yet between the 30 and the 40-yard line, 20% of those drives yielded points.
Huge.
So you're getting points of some variety. So that new 5-yard difference between the 30-yard line and the 35-yard line, at least in the Urban Meyer chart of battle of field position, is a 7% differential in points that are going to be on the board or not. It's huge.
Well, that's how much. Listen, to me, these kickoffs are stupid. I go back to a thought process so many years ago. You score, it's your ball on your own 25, and it's 1st and 15 or 4th and 15, and the vast majority of people are going to punt. And by every analytical metric out there, a punt is a much more interesting competitive play than a kickoff. It always has been. Okay.
Yep.
However, it does allow you, if you want to, from your own 25, or maybe you put the ball at the 30 and it's 4th and 15. I don't care. We can figure that out. You can go for it, and you don't have to announce it. You don't have to say, hey, everybody, it's a stupid onside kick. And it's a football play. But we just are so used to the kickoff being part of football. But how much can they change it, Mike? And it's still a kickoff, because it barely looks like a kickoff. And here's what's going to happen really quick. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to have non-kickers kicking the ball off because they're just going to be better players in kickoff coverage, because they only have to kick the ball like, a flying saucer, 35 or so yards in the air. I don't know who can't do that.
D-Mac, did you see what happened tonight? It's so funny. If this had been a year ago, this would be a massive national story right now. But in Canton, the very first play of the 2025 football season at really all levels was a dynamic kickoff that was returned by the Detroit Lions. Do you know what happened in the play?
I do not. I haven't seen it. I'm sorry.
The Detroit Lions fumbled the opening kickoff, and it was a violent collision.
Okay.
And he got kind of racked into as a hit, and then also got sandwiched between himself and his own blocker. Ball's out. Chargers recover.
Yeah.
I think it's about 5 plays later. Chargers score a touchdown. Trey Lance on a bootleg.
Okay.
And all of a sudden you're up 7-0 on a special teams play.
Was it a pop-up kick, or was it a line drive kick?
It was somewhere in between.
Okay.
It was somewhere in between. The thing about the pop-up versus the line drive, DMac, is it doesn't really matter as it relates to hang time, because you can't start the play
until
the ball's caught. But what you are bringing up is that kind of like that that tricky dart of a kick that lands in the catch zone.
Yes.
And then isn't properly fielded by the receiving duo back there.
Right.
If that ball squeezes into the end zone, now you got yourself a dang good football play.
Well, they've set it up
as a kicking team. I'm saying as a kicking team.
All right, listen. Well, they've set it up to have more kicks like that.
Yeah, and so I think tonight was proof of concept that it's more punitive now to get the ball, to just kick the ball out of bounds. The kickoff landed probably 3 yards shy of the goal line. So I'm guessing the way it was kicked, if the returner had really made the decision to let it go, I think it would actually bounce in the end zone.
Well, if that happens, if the ball lands in the landing zone, which I think is from the goal line to the 20, and then goes in the end zone, like I said, and you down it, that ball comes out to the 20, not the 35.
I think the way that this kick is that it was a driven. It looked like it had some juice behind it.
Well, that's kind of a perfect kick then.
And it was it was the perfect kick because you're kind of in the, do I return it? Do I let it go? I don't want it to bounce inbound. So if I were a betting man, I would have said it probably lands a half yard inside the end zone. But that's a hard decision to make in real time.
All right. Well, there was something else about tonight's game, and I want to play it for you. And this was the virtual measurement code. Check it out.
Down, as you see there's the virtual measurement. And there was the line to gain. So the Lions have a first down. If it is short, you're going to see how short they were.
Can they work on the graphics a little bit?
Well, they were obviously eager to break that out.
Did it not? Okay, replay that real quick in a second. Sure. Does it not look like it might be short? Because you don't.
Down, as you see there's the virtual measurement. And there was the line to gain. So the Lions have a first down. If it is short, you're going to see how short they were.
Little arrow pointing.
I know. I saw the arrow, but they don't show the arrow at first. And like in tennis, I love the ooh. Oh.
All right. Are you a fan of this?
Yes, I am.
Wait a second. What are we going to do with the septuagenarians, the octogenarians, the 90-year-olds that are the chain gang? What are we doing with those guys? Those guys still have jobs or not?
They're going to be like the Queen of England, man. Just ceremonial. Just that's all they are. They're there for the looks, for the for the vibes.
In this day and age of technology, on this multi-billion-dollar business that is the NFL, nothing is as comical as guys in their 80s trotting out with their fancy little pants and a stick and a chain. I mean, it's so absurd that this has been going on for so long that it's almost cute. I don't know what to say about it. And so I'm all, Mike, one of my sayings is sports should be played as if it was invented yesterday. And if football was invented yesterday, you wouldn't have grandpa with the chain. You just wouldn't. You wouldn't do it.
Do you find it comical that in the era of the biggest business of sport in the world, which is the Shield, which is the National Football League, that you are way, way late to the party behind tennis, way late to the party behind soccer? Yeah. I mean, the VAR has been a part of the World Cup now for what, 12 years?
And baseball has all the technology to go.
How sweet was the robo ump, by the way?
Fantastic.
That was awesome.
The only reason I see a need for a home plate umpire is because you need somebody to hold the balls. That's it.
The only thing I request, National Football League, and I know, Roger, you're watching us tonight. He loves the program. Ratings are terrific. Fine ratings. Roger, can you just have on the AI graphic an actual chain, kind of like tennis, where there's a
oh, that is too
funny, the chain keeps on stretching. Oh, we're short of line to gain. Wouldn't that be great?
It'd be fantastic. Don't forget, we had a referee one time measure the distance between the chain and the football with an index card and show everybody the index card. So we have moved on to I suppose better technology. All right, Coach. We have a million comments. I don't know if there's anything you want to get to. I'm happy to take a couple if you want. Other than that, we can wrap things up. So as you scan it, what do you got there?
Yeah, you've been working on this one for quite some time.
I've been talking about freaking kickoffs and special teams. First of all, I'll tell you this, and this is only at the pro level, because the difference with special teams at the pro level and every other level is how good the kickers actually are. I mean, it's when you think about how many college football teams, high-level football teams there are, how many the Broncos actually drafted a punter, which is like crazy. So you may get 1 or 2 new punters. Never mind like 6 or 7 quarterbacks, Coach. You might get one new kicker or 1 new punter in the NFL any given year. So how good are these guys? And it changes everything. So I've always thought special teams is the easiest thing in the world to coach. Like any moron could coach professional, not high school, not college, because it's way more challenging on those levels because your kickers just aren't as good.
Oh, you're right. Your kickers erase a multitude of sins.
Yeah, but like no high school like yourself, college coach should feel bad about that.
Right.
Only one of these guys is getting into the NFL, maybe 2 a year. So listen, go easy on yourself. But once you get to the pro level, all that time in practice on special teams on the pro level is a complete fucking waste of time to me.
Yeah.
You should do all that shit beforehand, maybe twice a week. And I get it involves other guys and the whole team, but to see everybody warmed up, getting a lather on, going through plays, and then just stop to practice this shit? Lord almighty, it's the dumbest thing.
Audrey may get cut right now, but gun to your head. What do you say, DMac?
He does not. I'd say Jaleel McLaughlin is a more likely vet cut.
I actually think that Jaleel McLaughlin has shown signs of frustration of just the opportunities that he isn't getting. And frankly, I think it's affecting his play a bit.
No, well, there you go. It's been several years with Jaleel. SMA was a draft pick. He is a load more than anybody else.
Yeah, and he put incredible work in the offseason. He looks he's more explosive. Yeah, and then this, I think this is the last comment or question that we should get to here.
Okay.
My thoughts on Jahdae Barron is that he's a fascinating new style of player where he is definitely not an outside cover corner. He is a nickel. I don't know that you're going to see the real impact of Jahdae Barron until you're playing live tackle football, because I do think he's a really good tackler in space. He has the ability to be a box tackler, and I think he is going to make some plays on balls. I think he's been in position. He looks a little bit on the smallish side, but I think he's going to have a moment or two in preseason games that you say, yep, that right there is the future of a position that you think is just a sub package, but it's not. He will end up being a mainstay on this defense for a long time.
Hey, Coach, just another reason.
I've said this before. I like this team.
As for me, I like the stock.
Coach will be back tomorrow night at 8:30. And then Saturday, don't miss that one in particular, as the Broncos have a somewhat scrimmage, move the ball. By far, Saturday will be the most interesting practice. But let's not snooze on that practice yesterday. Seriously. Jot it down in your little notebook, July 30th,
baby.
2025.
Remember the Alamo.